Yeah, Rich can't make it today because these are at the back of his throat.
Deep throating a bit too hard. Um,
On the subtlety on the one hand
well,
and
although,
sheer
although
brute force on the
he
other.
says he does say his throat's better, but he has a stinking cold.
Yes.
So that might be the reason he's not here. But either way, may I refer everyone back to when I was still here a couple of years back, missing half a lung?
Playing at Devil's Advocate,
I know.
you could still
I'm
talk.
joking. Okay. But he says his
Oh,
tonsils
that's
are
true.
better.
Yeah.
He's got a cold.
Yesterday,
I've done stuff with colds. I think there's
yeah.
an entire 4 parts of classic Doctor Who. Me, you, and Christian did. Not Chris. Me, you, and Ray
Me and the
did
other
when.
Christian. Yeah.
Me, you, and the other Christian. Yeah, the one we don't talk about.
I'm so tired. I literally worked. I worked 6 days in a row this week, and I finally get a week off.
Couldn't be doing with that. Bad tidings.
I'm looking for a new job at the moment. I actually had an email, so hopefully I need to go back to them. Well, I tried calling them, but they didn't answer.
I'm meant to be having a call about a job as well. They haven't called me yet.
Are you not saying your job?
Nah, it's done my head in now. I've been applying for some others. I think if I'm going to be somewhere where I've got too much work to do, I'd rather get somewhere where they pay me well for it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just
how long have you been in the same place now? Just working your way up?
8 years.
That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gone past the
Wow.
7-year itch. I went on my secondments a couple of years ago. That was my 7-year itch. Now I'm back on a permanent one, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm having an affair. I'm going out without my wedding ring on. I'd love to leave and just leave them in the lurch because they never seem to understand that you need to actually replace people.
Most companies, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to
what
like
was
personally apologise to some of the people on my team who are gonna like be left stuck in it if I do leave, if I find somewhere another good one, because I want to say to them, like, because I get on really well with the people I work with, but I just want to say to them, you know, like, if I do end up leaving,
but...
yeah, I'm really sorry about doing this to you. But, yeah.
That's the thing is, most companies, I mean, what was it? The company I'm working for now, literally, we all started in February, and the retentions team, they hired 12 people, I believe, and they're now down to 3 in the entire team of retentions.
Jeez.
They all left because they got so fed up with being treated like crap.
Yeah.
And their boss is an absolute douche. And then now someone else just handed their resignation as well. So there's literally I think there's only like 2 of them left. And I think they've only just hired new people who are starting, I think, next week.
But
it's like
boss,
it took them.
The
it took them this long to do it.
It's not the boss's fault. That's how it works.
What do you say?
It's not the boss will stay if even though if it's the boss like running the team badly and making people leave because they hate it, the boss will stay. It won't be their fault. Kind of responsibility flows upwards when it's something good's happened, and it flows downwards when something bad happens. So if the team's worked really well, the boss takes all the credit, and if the team's performed badly, it's the worker's fault for not performing adequately.
Yeah, like he's constantly like saying to them, like, "Oh, why haven't you got any saves?" And also, when you're trying to get people to stay in a certain company, it's just purely down to luck, isn't it? If someone doesn't want to stay, you can't force them to. So when they get pissy at them for being like, "You're not getting enough saves," and it's like, no, it's not their fault. Like, they can't help it. They only do so much. What I don't get about this kind of companies, like they keep saying, like, you've got to sell shit, and then when people don't want to buy it, they wonder why.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you expect?
Nightmare. I'm giving away trade secrets of team leaders and managers as well, talking about taking the responsibility.
Actually, like, I think Ozzy's like living a dream at the moment. He's not having to interact with anyone in this job. That's the kind of job I'm trying to find.
Well, I've always preferred cleaning.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? Because I know what's doing some cleaning job. That literally, like, you're living my dream at the moment. Just listening to music, putting your headphones on, and just getting on with it. How have you ever had any kind of job that is like saying that says to you like you can't have headphones in?
When I was doing the caretaking side of things at Blaze, I had to be more professional.
That's that. I mean,
when I was not as a cleaner, no. Not if I'm still doing my job and I'm not just sort of there on my phone changing songs every 5 minutes, or
Yeah.
once the phone's on, you barely touch it, sort of thing. You just leave it playing.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool.
It reminds me of now we're not in the office, it doesn't matter, but we always used to get asked by, or people always used to ask about listening to music as they work. And like I knew that because most of the people in our office were on the inbound calls team, so their manager used to get really funny about them listening to music, obviously because they're meant to be on the phone. And
yeah, that's understandable.
but then you know, you might have people who were just doing emails, for example, or they might be on like the second line team who were just dealing with the escalations that come through. But they used to get funny about them doing it as well because it wouldn't be fair on everyone else, which you can kind of see. You can see that sense in it, but you can also see, but they don't actually, they're not on the phone, so it's not the same. But like I remember,
both sides,
yeah, when I was on another team, like about half of that team used to listen to music. They just obviously didn't listen to it so loud that anyone could hear it, and because they used to go on a lot of calls, you know, they would just have the headphones in anyway when they're on calls, so they would just leave them in and then switch it to music. And
I get you. Switch between music and call. Okay, I was going to say you only have one headphone in anyway, so then people don't tend to really, if they still speak to you, you can hear them and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, but it's more. I explained it wrong. It's more that because they were always on calls, spotted about the day, no one questioned them having headphones in. No one said, "Here, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It didn't look unusual.
Yeah, and so when I took over this team, I got asked the question about listening to music as well, and I always said I don't really care if you listen to music or not, as long as you're doing your job. But because I was new, I asked my boss what do we do about this, and he was like, oh yeah, no, that's fair enough if people need to do that to get into things. And we came up with this whole plan because we do this survey every year called Great Place to Work. Which
we got that.
We're actually one of the top companies in the UK. We got officially accredited, which is incredible considering the shit that they pay us.
What number were you? We were number 26, I believe.
Oh, I don't know what number we were. I know we have the right to use the logo everywhere.
Yeah, remain silent.
Fill out our survey for the greatest company to work for, and I click on the survey and I can't even access it because it said access blocked on the work computer, and I'm just like, okay.
But yeah, so we had all these actions from that, talking about people being able to take extra time out at lunch if they were outside and that kind of stuff. And one of the things was this is what he put together. Team members can listen to music for 20 minutes a day, and I said to him, John, what's the point in that? It doesn't really.
Well, yeah, what is the point in that? Yeah. That's ridiculous.
You get through like 4 songs.
Yeah. It's like the point is people would like to listen to music because it helps them get into the zone and work. What's the point in saying, right, start the timer, now you can get into the zone and work. Now stop the timer, you've got to stop listening to music now.
Yeah. What was his reasoning for that? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Basically, this was a long roundabout discussion about how out of touch managers are and why I hate doing it.
Jesus. Yeah.
Maybe an upside as well is I always work early hours.
Yeah,
so
no one's there.
No one's really there to care anyway. The only people who will see you with your headphones are the people you're working with.
Yeah. And even you don't want to interact with them.
Yeah. It's normally if like bosses or higher ups tend to see you, they get a bit funny, but I personally haven't had any problems. Back when I was even back in my first ever job when I was at the greengrocers, you'd have like a shed out back where we'd pack all the fruit into like netting and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd just take my phone out there with me and play music or audio books whilst I was doing that. And then it just kind of evolved from that. When I went into Hollywood Bowl, I just had my headphones from day one and no one really questioned it.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair enough.
The same when I moved to Blaze, it was only when I did a sort of more professional sort of role, like the caretaking, that I had to look a bit more professional and be ready for people to talk to me if I needed them to.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's like excited that like my old job when I was like in shop, when it was like really quiet, I would just have my music on like very quietly in the back, whilst sorting through stuff. Like a
Ah.
customer, most of the time customers, they don't, because also we've got music on the front, so you don't hear the music in the back. So the customers wouldn't really care. Like if a customer came out the back, I would just sort of just answer what queries they want, but they wouldn't. No one would question it, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
I'm always the one who takes it that step extra and straps my phone to my wrist and watches videos, but I still get on with my work and have it done by the time I need to, sort of thing.
Yeah,
And it's
that's-
always done
yeah.
to a good quality. It's not like I half-arse my job because I'm watching videos.
Mm.
I sort of just get on with it and get it done properly, and then no one really tends to put up a fuss. I suppose only if it did affect your work in any way would anyone mention anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like perfect job at the moment. I've sort of come to realise that I can't work in loud environments. Like I just get too overwhelmed by it.
In what?
it's like,
Sorry.
I can't work in like loud environments.
Oh,
So
loud.
there's like loads of people talking.
I get you, yeah.
Like I get so I don't say dude, and then I just come to realize I get so overwhelmed by it. I basically I go like a mini meltdown.
Okay.
And it's like obviously wearing headphones would really help. But like those kind of jobs, like when you're just like in an office or whatever, and you just like sit on headphones and just get on with your work. I don't know, like data entry or something like that, you know.
Yeah. So you just sort of got to look into jobs that don't involve human
People.
contact.
Yeah, like leave it alone.
I found us we were 39th.
What is the survey? Because I can't even access it. Like, is it just you kind of sort of give your feedback basically?
Yeah,
Because
it's
I can give feedback. I can't be shit.
I don't have my laptop open. I could tell you that, point you the actual questions, but it's like it's a load of questions about like load of questions. And they're all things like, this is a physically safe place to work. People here are treated fairly regardless of their gender. My manager is someone I trust. This is a friendly place to work. When I look at there's some of them are on this page. When I look at what we accomplish, I feel a sense of pride. And you basically have to rank it from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10.
Is it anonymous?
It's like
yeah.
you used to get stuff like that in like schools and stuff as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
think I
like-
remember that.
Where it's like rate your experience for. No, actually, I know where I had it. It was in hospital.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, they always
He's
do
like-
those.
How well do you feel between 1 and 5? How much pain are you in between 1 and 5? Yeah,
Please fill out one survey for each lung.
yeah. I only had to fill in 1.5. They had to do the
It was
rest.
like
I just got that one. I just
Okay.
had to think for a moment.
they gave you half a pen, like in Willy Wonka's office.
No, they just gave me a biro that they snapped in half. They didn't even give me the pointy end.
Oh no! You just had to carve holes in the paper with the blunt end. Dear.
Oh god, yeah, we had a fire alarm stuff went off. It kept going off yesterday. So everyone kept evacuating the building.
Those are the best days.
It was like 10 in the evening, and it went off,
Oh,
and,
that's
and
not
me
the
and
best
kind of
days.
looked at each other, and we were just like, the fire alarm doesn't go off at this time. We get it like tested every Friday, like 10 in the morning. And we were like, oh, okay, so they're kind of sort of wandering around, like really confused, like what's happening? And we noticed that people were going outside, so we're like, oh, okay, let's just go outside. And because you think it's a fire, you're not going to take anything with you, so you just go down barefoot. But then fire people came, and it was like, nah, nothing's wrong, and they turned it off. And then an hour later, same thing happened, so we were like there again.
I mean, I'd probably grab the stuff I could fit in my hand on the way
Yeah.
out. I wouldn't exactly like stop and look for things, but
Yeah, well, we
as
grabbed our phone. That was it. Like, that's all we grabbed.
well, that's just looking around what's around me. I could grab my phone, my tablet. I'd probably just maybe grab the mixer as I'm on the way out as well. That's quite dear.
Yeah.
I won't be.
Thanks.
I mean, well, I was going to say if I really wanted to be, oh no, that's what I could do. I'd unplug everything out of the computer and just take the shell of the computer, but without the front flap on, so then I could use the computer as like a storage duct to put other things that I collect along the way into. and then carry that out with me.
That's okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't think of that. I mean, the only thing I thought of that I think for me was worth losing was I have all the family photos here at the moment, and so like they would have been gone up in smoke. That would have been awful. But no. Luckily, it was 2 false alarms, and the fire people came back out, and basically the bottom floor fire alarm was like faulty, so they had to silence it. And so I'm like sitting here like shit, and they said, oh well, if the fire goes off, then it'll trigger like the first and second floor alarms, and you'll be fine. And I was just like, hang on a second, we're on the 3rd floor. If a fire breaks out, we're fucked, because by the time that everything else is alerted, that fire has already gone onto the ground floor, isn't it? So how are you going to get out? How are you meant to escape?
9/11 it out the windows.
Jesus. Right.
Impenetrable bunker.
Like, get a trampoline down below, just jump onto it. I think they're sending someone over to sort it out. I don't know when though.
You did the little paddling pool underneath the window like you're in the circus.
Yeah, get one of those. Get a little
Someone's
diving board.
filled it with worms. It was just to annoy me when people would say like, come on, you need to leave immediately, because sometimes it would be the middle of winter when the alarm went off, and I'd be like, I'm not going out without putting my coat, gloves and hat and scarf on, because I'm going to freeze to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sat in the car for a bit because it was cold. But no, I think it was the first time I ever seen my neighbours. I was just like, oh, okay. And then we're the last time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about at work.
What? No, in our flat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I got that.
I work from home.
That would have been like ironic. Is that's how all you and your neighbours first meet and become like friends? Is through your entire apartment block, building, flat, high rise thing burning to the ground.
Jesus Christ,
everyone loses their houses, but it brings you all together as a community.
Yeah.
Like we've lost all our stuff, but we have each other.
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
I can kill you and take your stuff.
But I lost my stuff too. We all lost our stuff.
No, yeah, it happened like twice, and I was like, just as I was like going to bed as well, I was just like, oh, for God's sake. How's everyone else's evening?
Oh.
Nah, normal.
What, yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
What did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, I played Civ with Rich and the gang. He's like cool in the gang.
Nice.
But because Richard hurt the back of his throat,
From blowjobs.
he was we couldn't go very long because his throat was obviously killing him, and he was speaking in like this sexy sultry voice the whole time.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I started laughing at you couldn't go long because his throat was hurting.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that one. That's embarrassing. I should have picked that up straight away. Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying the sunshine at the moment.
It's quite nice.
I've been making the most of my back garden, i.e. Blaze Castle.
I was literally about to say what that dank, shitty little washing line thing behind your flats.
I just like like when
just sunbathing out in one out there like the proper chavs.
Yeah, like my neighbours are doing at the moment.
yeah, exactly. Like the proper chavs.
Exactly. I was thinking, like when you see tightrope walkers or it's like acrobats or something, and they do that trick where it's like they've fallen from the wire, but then they just sort of like hang on it with just like one arm and one leg. That's how I sit out there. Like a bit of washing with pegs on me.
Or you like a hammock, but you're on your side on top of the line, balancing and sort of swinging.
Do you know what? I haven't been out to those lines for fucking age. Oh no, I went out to clean some pots. I remember now. I have been out there. But that was the first time I've been out there for like 3 years, I think. May as well be a different country.
Might as well not belong to your flat. Belongs to
Yeah.
everyone else's, but your one flat doesn't own anything there.
Yeah. I used to use it quite a lot. I put up a couple of lines out there because they keep coming down, and then they came down, and I thought, well, fuck it then. I'm not doing it again.
No, fair.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, that was what a weird fucking chat that was.
We're like the only two people in the world who would know what the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, what news has I got? I've got It's not really. It's kind of news-ish, but I don't know. I know it's definitely not something Christian would have watched. It's something I didn't watch religiously, but I did watch a decent-ish amount when I was a kid. But Alex, did you ever watch iCarly?
Oh, I remember watching it with you. Yeah.
Oh, did we? Okay.
I remember we watched it a lot in your grand's house.
Oh, yeah, because I was living with my nan back in college.
Yeah,
And
I remember we watched it a crap
Yeah.
ton. Yeah, I remember we watched it on, I think it was
Yeah.
New Year's, and we'd watch it a lot, and I literally watched the reboot trailer.
Oh, I was literally about to say.
Oh, I was about to say, is the news that it turns out iCarly is like a racist or something? It's normally why people are in the news these days.
Rebooted, rebooting, but like they're all older now.
They're calling it a reboot, but I wouldn't say it is a reboot. I'd say it's more of a sequel series.
Yeah,
Because
I'd say that.
It's about 90% of the original cast. Only like 3 or 4 of the original main cast aren't coming back.
Yeah, Sam isn't coming back.
No, Sam isn't. But I don't think she wanted to be much of an actress anyway.
No, from what I read, apparently she said that like she was forced to act as a kid, and it was so traumatic for her. She basically never wants to do acting again.
Yeah,
which is really sad.
I did look into that. I wasn't going to bring up the depressing note of the iCarly reboot, but no,
Continue.
yeah. Well, yeah, no, it feels like the
good.
same show, just a sequel series. They're all just
Yeah,
older
like,
now.
It
It's
definitely seems to have grown up with his audience.
It's a little bit how like All Grown Up was to Rugrats.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The same show, the same cast, the same setting. It's just they're older, and it's not on kids channels anymore, so they can get away with rude jokes and swearing.
It was weird seeing like I can't remember his name now. The guy was like he got like a beer, and it was just like what?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was interested. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to watch it because it's on some American streaming service that we don't have over here.
Internet.
Yes.
That's true.
Internet is a wonderful thing. Something a little bit more towards Christian's sense, though. I don't know if it's been done. I had a quick look on the Googles, but I've come up with an idea for a Pokemon challenge.
Oh, yes.
So, do you know what a Soul Link is?
Yes.
I don't think anyone's ever attempted a Soul Link cross generations.
I don't know what that means.
So, rather than playing Ruby and Sapphire, you'd play Ruby and Omega Ruby. Or you'd basically play a pre-one and a remake and Soul Link that. Just to see how different that would be. If there's any more challenge to one person having, like, less Pokemon to their teams or etc.
I've got to be honest. I thought I knew what a Soul Link was, but now I don't.
Let's backtrack about 5 minutes. Do you know what a Nuzlocke is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, a Nuzlocke, a Soul Link is basically where 2 people do a Nuzlocke at the same time, but the Pokemon they catch on the same route are linked.
So if one dies, the other... Right.
One dies, the other dies, yeah.
Neither can live whilst the other still lives, or whatever. Like Harry Potter.
Along those lines, yeah. And then you can go deeper into it where, like, between you can only have one of each type in your combining teams.
Oh, okay.
And, like, extra rules and stuff. But, yeah, I've only ever seen people do Soul Links between, like, the 2 versions rather than, like, 2 completely different games or... to like
Yeah.
dimensionally transcendental games, if you will. That's what it's like, a time-space Soul Link sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because there's because obviously, if you're in the Mega Evolution timeline, you get the whole added bonus of Mega Evolution, whereas your partner doesn't. So there's more chance your partner could lose a Pokemon because
Yeah.
you've got stronger ones, etc., etc. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my little idea. Copyright, TS reactions, inaudible, etc., etc. We'll have to give it a go one day.
One day.
I think next thing on the list for us is start rec. So
Yeah, we've got to start wrecking.
we've got to continue our start recs. And that's pretty much all the news I've got.
Wow.
There.
Like I said, I've been listening to a Big Finish, but I haven't really got that far through it yet, so I can't give much of a in depth to it.
Okay. I'm up to the next one I'm starting is Catch 1782. So
It sounds familiar.
it's a
It's
Sixth
the Sixth
Doctor,
Doctor one.
and
Yeah. Teddy.
Bonnie Langford. Mel.
Mel. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm working my way through them. I'm really enjoying the Big Finish again. I didn't listen for a while because I had
Yeah.
a ton of podcasts I wanted to catch up on, like new ones I'd started listening to and such. But yeah, no, it's so good. I'm glad I'm back on it again.
Yeah. The one I've got at the moment seems interesting so far. Is that in order to defeat a Word Lord, who is like a
Ooh.
Time Lord, but comes from a dimension where instead of physics, it's word and language.
Oh, a Wardlord.
So something like that,
Okay.
yeah. And from what I can gather, there's a lot of stuff you need to have listened to before it, because I'm a little bit lost in the first part. But basically, the Doctor's battling this Word Lord. His name is Nobody No One.
Oh,
And it means that if anybody ever says nobody can do this or nobody can do that, it means he can do it.
oh,
So it's like nobody can be the one to stop the Doctor from regenerating. So nobody stops the Doctor from regenerating. But that doesn't come to a fruition because the Doctor sacrifices himself in order to defeat this Word Lord.
Wardlord.
So it is a bit of a tongue thing, yeah.
Or Wordlord.
Word Lord.
The answer.
So yeah, the end of part one, the Doctor is dead. Hex gets dropped off to where Evelyn is.
Oh.
And he's now recounting the story to her.
Is he putting in musical numbers?
No,
It's
no,
not
not
much of a
this
story
time round.
otherwise. There was a
It's
fifth
quite sweet. Oh, I was just to finish off. I was going to say Part two started off quite sweet because it's basically one of the Seventh Doctor's current companions and Evelyn sort of reminiscing about how brilliant the Doctor was, but they always took it for granted, expecting him to be immortal. But when it comes to it, he doesn't always win. And it's just like there's the last bit I listened to was like a sentimental 10 minutes of them just sort of that kind of conversation. And it was quite nice, quite sweet.
Nice.
So you were saying, I apologise.
I was saying,
Saying,
I've forgotten.
under the
Oh yeah,
kitchen saying.
I do like you talking about the Doctor being dead. Like I do like the kind
Oh.
of the creative liberty they can take in Big Finish.
Yeah.
Because there was a Fifth Doctor one. It was an Eminem one, I think, when like the Doctor. The Doctor
Took me a moment. Literally, because it's been so long since we've mentioned Eminem, it took me a moment to realise who you were speaking of. And I literally pictured Fifth Doctor and Eminem.
And I will say I like Eminem as a companion because I tend to prefer the companions that are a bit more competent, that they don't spend all their time going like, "Oh, Doctor, what do we do?" Doctor, what's it?"
Even if they can be a little bit silly and get themselves into trouble, at least they've gone to try and do something to get them into that trouble in the first place.
Yeah.
I do get what you mean.
But yeah, no,
And-
it was the one with like these coven of witches or something that was protecting this immortal guy. And at one point,
it's phantasms or
something like that.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
So spoilers: the Doctor gets his head viciously ripped off. At one
yeah,
point.
yeah.
I was listening to it like, hang on, what? What? How did they work that out? I'm pretty certain there's more Doctors after this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Big Finish. Check it out.
Definitely, especially if you're disheartened with the current series.
I need to check that out. I think I caught you, but
Well, yeah, like we've said, if you need to start with a modern Doctor on Big Finish and then work your way back or something,
mm,
'cause it might be
Okay.
easier as someone who only has ever really watched Modern Who to start with maybe David Tennant or Chris Eccleston, who's
Yeah.
just released a couple.
I was thinking maybe I started David Tennant. I've kind of been half watching. Is it DuckTales? I guess it is.
Yeah.
It had David Tennant in it with Amy, and she just finished. I think it was like the finale of season 1 or something. And I was kind of half watching it. I was just like, oh my god! Like I looked at her after, and I just went, I didn't expect this show to be emotional. I was like, what the hell?
I've not seen it, but I have heard good things about modern DuckTales.
Yeah, David Tennant's amazing in it. Like it's funny because
Well,
he seems like he's
David Tennant's
more-
amazing in fucking anything.
Yeah, I was saying to Amy actually last night. I was saying like how I respect him so much as an actor because of just how versatile he is. He can go from being a lovable, amazing, like someone like a doctor, to being an absolutely terrifying serial killer who you absolutely hate.
Yeah.
And yet he's still like, and it's crazy.
Well, he's an actor. It's his
No,
job.
I know it's crazy, and
He's very bloody good at his job.
I saw a funny interview with him recently.
Stage actor.
I think he was doing a podcast with Judy Dench, and she was asking him. She said, "Oh, so how many kids do you have now?" And he was like, "Oh, we have 5." And she just went, "Oh, you have quite a lot, don't you?" And he was like, "Yeah, we don't really know how to stop, to be honest." I was just like, "How
Bloody
do
Catholics.
you have 5 kids?" Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, I just want to listen to more of his stories.
I've just been looking up if there was any news about the actual Doctor Who on telly, and there's actually some things that might make they made my ears prick up anyway. So number one, I mean, obviously Chibnall's still in charge of the next series, Series 13. Lucky for some.
No one like that.
But the lady who wrote The Haunting of Arthur Philip Deodati, Maxine Alderton, is apparently
Is the new Doctor.
she's been listed as a core writer for the next series, and that episode was one of the better ones.
Yeah,
And I looked her up actually. So it was brought up in that 5-hour long video I linked by JXC the other day. I looked her up and she's actually she comes from the world of soap. She was a soap opera writer. So maybe that's why she actually put some good character moments in her story, was because this is kind of what she does. So that could be a good thing. She
like,
seems...
and what wasn't it like soapy comedy stuff that Russell T Davies came from as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need soap writers in Doctor Who to make it work.
Also, I learned unrelated to this, like a couple of weeks ago. I learned why they were called soap operas. It was because the first ones, I don't know about the opera bit. I guess that's just the name for something with a lot of characters.
Or like operas are normally very sort of dramatic or melodramatic and very sort of, oh, the woe is me.
Well,
do you get what I mean?
Star Wars is a space opera.
Okay.
So I guess my guess is that it's something to do with just having an ensemble cast of characters that interact with each other.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
But anyway, so the first soap operas were radio dramas that were produced and sponsored by, so they were produced as like a sponsorship thing, by Procter and Gamble, who were best known for making soap. That's what they called soap operas.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, so then the other thing was,
More you know.
I've just read, and this news was from October 2019, so I completely missed this, but a deal has been made between the BBC and HBO to make an additional 2 series of Doctor Who. Oh, including the 13th and 14th series.
They might be a bit more adult then. Like, 'cause
So
HBO.
me and Ozzy spoke about this kind of off camera before, how we were saying that it might actually be good if the BBC is kind of like has to actually like
Let
flog
go
Doctor
of
Who
Doctor
to
Who, yeah.
some streaming
Yeah.
service who can put more money into it and have a bit more freedom with it.
Bit more
Um,
production value, yeah.
You usually find that when something goes to a online only type thing, it gets really good.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I was just googling it just a second ago to check if my memory was correct, and it was, which is that's the same
Ooh.
deal that led to the His Dark
Tell me
Materials adaptation as well on the BBC, which was really good. I mean, granted, they're working from a good source material there as well, but like they didn't fuck it up. They did a really good adaptation, and the production quality was through the roof as well. So hopefully, these are things that make me feel a little bit more hopeful for the future of Doctor Who. And
Things that
then the
make you
final
go,
thing is that nothing has been confirmed on Chris Chibnall's future past Series 13. So you never know.
I mean, it gives us a year to hire an assassin, and
Yeah.
better not finish that sentence.
Well, what possible endings could there be to the sentence? It gives us enough time to hire an assassin and tell them not to do anything.
No, hire the writer of The Deadly Assassin from back in Tom Baker's era.
There we go. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
We can't do that. Gallifrey. Gallifrey's gone. We can't have another deadly assassin.
He'd bring it back.
Somehow Gallifrey returned.
Jesus, even I get that, and I haven't watched any Star Wars films. Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
I did think of a new joke.
Oh God. Okay.
Where do people on the island of Sodor get their games from?
Where?
From the island of Sodor. Where do they buy their games?
Um,
God. Oh, Steam.
Steam.
fake. That's pretty good.
I was just thinking, for some reason, I completely forgot about electronic only stores. I was there
no,
like,
that
game, electronic boutique, Savvy, HMV.
Yeah. I'm slowly compiling a list of jokes. I've only got 3 so far.
Jesus. Oh man. Oh, I found a picture of a cool train. We were talking about trains the other day.
Oh, train.
And I had a look in my... I've literally got a folder in my pictures called Cool Stuff. And I remembered saving this before as a cool train. Because I was talking about the style of train that I just think looks really cool. And it was this style of train.
Yeah,
That's proper steampunk.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
it's proper big boy brutish sort of
Yeah,
train.
it's a chunky boy.
I'm bad at terminology.
Chunky boy.
It's kind of like Gordon stroke the Flying Scotsman. So the bigger engines.
This one's kind of looks like it's almost mixed with Mad Max as well.
Yeah.
all the pipes all over
Yeah.
it and the rivets. Just need some acoustics, speakers, and flamethrowers. That'd be Mad Max.
What does...
Hello?
What does?
Okay, no. Is it? No. No, it's not. Ignore me.
What?
Never
What
mind.
just happened? Okay. If anyone would like to know, I know a little bit about getting another tattoo next week, so that's cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nice.
This little guy. Well, it's only the outline, but yeah.
Okay. I've seen it before. I don't know the context, but yeah.
Is it Adventure Time?
Nah,
Steven
Gravity
Universe.
Falls.
Oh,
Gravity.
I would get there eventually.
You gonna get
Yeah, you would have got there. But no, it's just the villain from Gravity Falls. Pretty cool.
Have I ever sent you guys the picture of the Council of Elder Tubbies?
What?
I don't No.
Sorry, I'm just in my cool stuff folder.
Say elder tubbies.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Oh, God.
That's actually pretty cool, but also terrifying.
Oh.
Bloody hell. Where did you even find that?
Internet.
Oh, of course, I
Internet.
know that. Oh my god. What did you have to type though to find something like that? That's crazy.
I think this came up on Reddit actually.
Oh, of course, yeah, it'll be Reddit. I'm literally currently scrolling on Reddit right now.
You're not giving the podcast your full attention? How dare
Ah.
you?
I can multitask.
I go through not anymore. I go through phases of really kind of doom scrolling through Reddit a lot, and then other times thinking, "What the hell am I wasting my time on this crap for?" I'm in that one at the most. It's social media.
That's like
man.
most
It's
social
bad for
media.
you. It's bad, yeah, but it's also pretty good when you're on it.
You find some hilarious stuff on there.
I do keep thinking I need to just uninstall the app from my phone because it's not healthy just
know
to
what you
doom
mean.
scroll.
No.
In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Fuck it. Here we go. Be gone.
Yeah, I've never been much of a memer. I see the odd funny one, but
Mama mima. Do ha.
wow.
Well, yeah, there we are. So that's enough. So welcome to Inaudible, the podcast that's impossible to listen to.
Wait, hang on a second.
And thanks for listening.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, you're literally
Well, this was a short podcast.
Yeah.
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 We all need, like, we don't really watch it. We haven't done anything, have we, like, this week? But, like, kind of, we're sort of not.
But there's
I don't have to say it without sounding like a douchebag, but yeah.
Oh, I am
mean,
in the middle
is
of.
this actually?
Oh.
How often has it been that we've had a podcast with Alex but not Rich?
Not since the days when Rich
Not
was
often.
lost to us.
Yeah, so it's been a while since he sort of experienced just the lull of a slow episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is common for an episode where one or two people are usually missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, this is quite sane for what it could get to.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Be
Yeah,
thankful it wasn't just me and Christian.
you would have felt the ripples in the continuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am in my kind of annual break from being bothered to make any videos. It tends to happen in the summer when the sun comes out and I just go,
Gets hotter, you get sweatier, and you can't be bothered. Yeah.
exactly. I put up a poll on the channel of what for the next EU4 campaign, so get that started next week probably. I make sure I do the instant runoff vote so that to give the one I want to win the best chance possible of winning. So that I eliminate the one in last place and keep doing it until there's only two left and then the winner of that one. So head on to Invisible Tower and vote for that.
If you're doing it that way, though, then what's the point of a poll? Why not just do the one you want to do?
Well, the one that wins I still do. I don't not do the one that wins, but the thing is if
there's just more chance of the one you want to do winning.
But if I do a 5-way poll and the winner gets 35%, I'm like, well, that's not the majority of people. So I've got to I eliminate the last place ones. So like I did a 5-way, then a 3-way, now it's just a 2-way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And luckily the one I want is in the lead, so it's paying off so far.
Just go over and downvote them all. I don't know which one is the one you don't want. I've got one in like 4 or 5 chance.
I'll never tell.
Nah.
Anyway, that's enough of this bullshit. See you next time.
Actually,
Bye.
Bye.
Was it something else for the podcast?
not for. I was just gonna say. Actually, I could literally just vote for one, see which one's winning, and then that would show me which one's ahead.
Yes.
But yeah, no, bye.
Yeah,
All right.
If he can't handle a Sitar Ronaldo ball, he doesn't deserve a Sitar Minecraft.